I don't remember the last time that there was this much hype about a WWDC event. And let's just say today did not disappoint. I'm BobbyInBlue, and on this channel we talk about all things tech. Alright, so diving into today's WWDC event, starting out with the all-new M2 powered 15-inch MacBook Air. This thing is 15.5 millimeters thick, it's got a 15.3-inch liquid retina display, it's about 3.3 pounds, and just like the 13-inch model, it has two Thunderbolt ports, a MagSafe charging port, and a headphone jack. It comes in the same four colors of Midnight, Starlight, Space Gray, and Silver. It's got a 1080p webcam and a 3-mic array, and it's just about 12 times faster than the Intel-based MacBook Airs from the previous models. And it has about 18 hours of battery life. And surprisingly, it came in at a great price at $1299, which I didn't expect. I had it priced somewhere around $1,500. I really love my 13-inch MacBook Air, and so now that there's a 15-inch model, this is bound to be one of Apple's most popular MacBooks, especially at this price point. Next up, the M2 Ultra chip comes to the Mac Studio. The M2 Ultra is pretty much two M2 Max chips slapped together. Outside of the new chip, we also got upgraded HDMI with higher bandwidth as well. The Mac Studio can be configured with up to a 24-core CPU, a 76-core GPU, 8 terabytes of storage, and 192 gigabytes of unified memory. It also packs Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 5.3, and supports 8K displays as well. The Mac Studio has quickly become the go-to computer for creatives, and to see it get this M2 Ultra chip firmly cements its standing as the top computer in this range. Next up, and completing the transition to Apple Silicon, we have the M2 Ultra-based Mac Pro. Do you remember the Afterburner cards from the Intel Mac Pro? Well, this Apple Silicon-based Mac Pro packs a performance of 7 of those Afterburner cards. They have also doubled the amount of Thunderbolt ports so that there are now a total of 8. This Mac Pro packs the same cheese grater aesthetic as before, and there are 6 open PCIe Gen 4 slots. Altogether, this thing offers some truly powerful configurations. They have it as a standard upright as well as a rack-mountable version, available starting at $6,999. The transition to Apple Silicon is now complete with this new M2 Ultra-based Mac Pro, and it is now configurable to one of the fastest computers on the market. Now let's jump into software with iOS 17. There are some really fun and interesting features coming to iOS 17. Let's start with the phone app, and something they're calling personalized contact posters. This is combining a photo or memoji with curated typography. It's similar to the customizable lock screens that we've seen in iOS 16. This is a photo displayed as the person's contact, and it also pops up when they call. Next up is live voicemail. So when somebody calls you and you don't recognize the number, they now have the option to tell you a little bit more about who they are and why they're calling. The person can say something like, "Hello, I'm calling you about this package that we have here at the UPS store," and then you can read that text on your iPhone and decide whether you want to pick up the phone call or not. I really like this feature, and in the age where we get a ton of robocalls, I can see this being very helpful. Next up is FaceTime voicemail. When you FaceTime somebody and they are not available to answer you, you can now leave them a video voicemail message, which is one of those highly requested features that I think Apple's really smart for including. Next up, they've improved the search features inside of messaging. And it's now even easier to find just the right message. You can search by a contact and then a secondary search to include words that may be in that message. I don't know about you, but I find myself searching through messages a lot, and I haven't always found the search function to be very intuitive, so I'm hopeful that this will help. Next up is a feature called Catch-Up Arrow. You can now click this catch-up arrow right here in the top right corner, and it will take you to the part of the message thread that you haven't seen. This is perfect for catching up on a group chat that may have been blowing up while you're away from your phone. You can also now swipe to do inline replies, making it a lot faster and easier to reply to a certain message. Next up is transcribed audio messages. For those times where you might be in a meeting or you're not able to listen to your audio message, it'll actually take the message and transcribe it so that you can read it as text until you're able to listen to the audio message. Next up is a feature called Check-in. For those times when you either want to know when somebody's made it home or you want to let somebody know that you've made it home. It allows you to start the check-in process with a friend or family member, and then when you get home, check-in will automatically let them know that you've made it home. Also, if something happens and you're delayed, it can check in with you, and if you don't respond, then it can share information like location, cell service, the route that you took, indicator of battery life, and different things like that, helping the people who may be waiting for you to get home know what's going on. I think this is a great feature that will help give us some peace of mind to make sure that we can check in with friends or family members on their way home. Next up, they've changed the location for the in-messaging applications. It's no longer right above the text box, it's now in the corner with this plus button. When you touch the plus button, it shows you the messaging apps that you use most, and you can swipe up to see more. Next up is an all-new update to stickers. You can get to stickers inside of the new messaging app area by hitting the plus button here. All of your frequently used stickers show up here. They have turned all of the emojis into stickers, and they can now be rotated and resized as you stick them to messages. There's also a Live Stickers tab that lets you use the live photo feature introduced last year, where you can remove a person from the background of a photo, and you can now take that image that's been removed from the background and turn it into a sticker. You can also do this with live photos and make animated stickers out of your live photos. Then you can peel and stick those animated stickers to a message. You can also add effects to stickers now, so when you tilt your phone inside of messages, the stickers show their depth and that they're layered over top of the message they were stuck to. You can also now react to any messages using stickers as well, by selecting it from the tap back menu. Last up for stickers, they have added stickers system-wide, so anywhere that you can use emojis, you can now use your stickers, including third-party apps. Next up, some updates for AirDrop. When you want to share your contact with somebody, you can now use something called Name Drop. You just bring your phones close together and your contact poster will pop up on the screen. You can then choose the parts of your contact that you would like to share, and it will AirDrop your contact right over. This also works when sharing with Apple Watches as well. When you want to initiate AirDrop to share photos and videos, you can bring your phone close by to initiate a transfer. You can also start transferring media via AirDrop, and then if you need to walk away outside of range of traditional AirDrop, your phone will still share the content at full resolution via the internet instead. AirDrop is one of those features that I use all the time, and I'm glad to see it being updated and simplified. You can also bring your devices together to kick off a shared activity, like using SharePlay. My favorite example of this from the keynote was when they used SharePlay to sync up a song at the exact same time between two people, so that while they were working out to the same beat. Pretty cool. Autocorrect has also been updated so it's more capable and accurate. You can tap the underlined word to reveal the text that you actually wrote. And if you want it to replace the auto-corrected word, you can just tap to do so. Predictive text has also been moved inline. So now as you type, you can finish a word or a sentence by just tapping the spacebar. Also, predictive text and dictation have also been updated and now should learn and keep up with each person better. Next up is an all-new journal app. The journal app can incorporate writing and rich details like people, photos, places, activity, and music. It can bring all of this media together and prompt you to write about your memories and help you keep a digital journal. This is a feature I'm really excited about. I've used other apps to do similar things, and this one seems to have really deep integration into the content and media that's already on your device to help make journaling even easier. Next up is Standby. Standby is a feature that you can turn your iPhone on its side while it's charging, and it becomes sort of like a smart display. It can play your photos, show a clock or a timer, a live event, show updates to sports scores, or update you as your food is being delivered. It can also be set up with widget stacks, as well as many clock faces that also adapt to a red light color scheme at night to help you sleep better. iOS 17 also has many smaller updates as well, including no longer needing to say hey before saying Siri, so that you can just say Siri and then give your command. You can now also issue back-to-back commands without having to say Siri again in between each one. Another great feature for those times when you're exploring a new city, in Maps you can select an area on the map to download to your device for offline navigation. Next, the Photos app has been updated so that the People tab is now even better at recognizing the people that are in your photos. They've also added the ability to recognize pets as well. Another interesting one I think is Find My Shared Items. This lets you set up a Find My item with a device or AirTag and then share that with somebody else. I can see this being useful for shared items like car keys or bags. iOS 17 will be available to developers as well as a public beta very shortly. The full version of iOS 17 will be out this fall. It typically launches somewhere around September with the new iPhones. Alright, jumping from iOS to iPadOS 17. The widgets on the iPad have been updated and improved, and they are now interactive. You can now not only see reminders, but you can tap on the screen to mark one complete. The name of the game with the new widgets on iPadOS is Quick Interactions that let you get things done with minimal effort. You can also add live activities to the lock screen similar to those found on the dynamic island on iPhone, so that you can keep track of sports scores, see if your food has been delivered, or track your flight. I've always really enjoyed using iPads to work on PDF files. I've always really liked being able to pull out the Apple Pencil and sign a quick document or take notes. PDF functionality has been greatly improved in iPadOS 17, and you can now use machine learning to identify the different fields on a PDF. So you can have it identify the fields on, say, a form you're filling out, and then it can quickly use autofill to plug in your address or other key details. PDFs can now also be added to notes, and you can take notes over top of them, and the PDF is shown in a full width expanded view. You can keep multiple PDFs in the same note, which is perfect for taking notes or studying. You can also now collaborate live inside of notes, so that you can see each other's notes or annotations over top of a PDF in real time. This can be done in person or online combined with a FaceTime call. They have some other key changes in iPadOS 17, like improving Stage Manager with better customization of how you lay your windows out, and you can also use the built-in cameras on external displays for FaceTime or conference calls. iPadOS is set to be a solid upgrade with some great features. Next up is macOS, and the new version of macOS is called macOS Sonoma. It packs new video screensavers that are paired with stationary wallpapers so that when you wake up your Mac, it goes from a video of a place in the world to a stationary wallpaper of that same place. Pretty cool. Widgets used to be stuck in the control center on macOS, and now you can add them to your desktop. They are glanceable, and they also fade away and become more transparent when you have an app over top of them so that they don't distract you. You can also browse the widgets that are on your iPhone right on your Mac, and you can see the content from these widgets and bring them to your Mac without having to have the apps installed on your Mac. Your iPhone just needs to be close by or on the same Wi-Fi network, and it pulls the live data from your phone. Pretty cool. Next up, there are some major gaming updates for macOS. With the influx of power from Apple Silicon, Macs have never been better for gaming. There is now a new mode called Game Mode. Game Mode prioritizes your gameplay and keeps other apps processing to a minimum, giving the best performance for your game possible. Game Mode also lowers audio latency with AirPods and reduces input latency with Xbox or PlayStation controllers, with a better Bluetooth sampling rate. Next up, Apple's bringing some changes to the way that you use video conferencing on macOS, with a new feature they're calling Presenter Overlay. This places a live video of your face over your shared screen. It has two modes. One puts the video of your face in a small circle on one of the corners over top of the screen that you're sharing, and the other places a larger version of the video of your face over top of your content, with your content off to one side kind of behind you. You can also create reaction overlays like balloons, hearts, confetti, or fireworks. Gestures are used to trigger these effects, and they can be used with many video conferencing apps like FaceTime, Zoom, WebEx, and Teams. Savari updates include private browsing updates and also profiles so that you can separate your work browsing from your everyday browsing. Also shared passkeys, and now the ability to have web apps that allow you to turn any website into a web app on your Mac. Those are pretty cool features for macOS Sonoma. Looking forward to trying it out. Next up, let's look at AirPods, tvOS, and AirPlay. First, AirPods. I really like using the noise cancellation and the transparency mode on my AirPods. And now there's a new mode that kind of meets both of these in the middle called Adaptive Audio. Adaptive Audio dynamically blends transparency and active noise canceling modes to block out noise and to help you hear the things that you want to hear. Another step forward in this vein is conversation awareness. When you start speaking, your music will automatically lower and your AirPods will prioritize the voices in front of you and reduce the background noise. Looking next at AirPlay and SharePlay. With this update, AirPlay is now even more seamless with improved, reliable connectivity. Apple is also bringing AirPlay to hotels with this cool, quick QR code pairing process, so that you can now share your screen or audio from your Apple devices with ease when you're at a hotel. When you want to play songs on a road trip, you can also now use SharePlay. That's right, SharePlay is coming to the car. When your driver connects to CarPlay, others in the car get a notification and the chance to tap to join the session. Then they can share content from their own devices through CarPlay as well. This makes it so anyone in the car can share whatever song they want. I think this is pretty slick. Next up, Apple tvOS 17. Control Center has been redesigned, and you now have better access to AirPod settings, seeing home cameras or other devices, system controls, and user profiles. FaceTime is also coming to Apple TV through the use of Continuity Camera. This uses your iPhone or your iPad's camera and microphone. It can also use the center stage feature to make sure that everyone is always in the frame. I'm really looking forward to this. I think it'll be really great to be able to have a great big screen up there and to be able to use FaceTime with everybody all at once. Next up, this is going to be a big one. You can now use your iPhone to find your lost Apple TV remote. It's going to be awesome. Okay, we've covered a lot, but last but not least is watchOS 10. The big news here is that you can now use widgets on your Apple Watch. Widgets in a smart stack are accessible by turning the digital crown slightly. This way you can use your full watch faces without having to have details and complications all over them, but you can still have quick access to the things that you need to see. There's also been updates to many of the apps like World Clock or Activities. They come with a modern redesign that allow you to use the full screen with small corner icons. There are also 2 new watch faces, one called Palette that looks like this, and one that brings 2 beloved characters, Snoopy and Woodstock, to an animated watch face. There are also extensive updates to the cycling and hiking workouts as well. There you have it, a quick look at all the new software available for Apple devices and most of the new hardware. But wait, there's one more thing, Apple Vision Pro. But it kind of deserves a video of its own. So click the link below in the description and check out my video and my thoughts on the new Apple Vision Pro headset. I'm BobbyInBlue, thanks for watching, and if you love WWDC Day like I love WWDC Day, then make sure to subscribe below for more content just like this. We'll see you in the next one.